Hello, welcome back or welcome to Marion K Tarot. We are going to do a week ahead reading for the week commencing the 4th of May until the 10th of May. So, welcome back or welcome. You're all very, very welcome. So I'm a tarot reader. I have been a reader for over 25 years. I'm based here in Scotland in the UK, and I have created my own deck, my own oracle deck, and I just recently hosted my first international divination conference called the Oracles Rebellion. And if you're watching this and you were there, thank you so much. It was wonderful to meet you. And yeah, so this is, I say that I'm slowly getting back to normal, whatever normal is. Never really quite worked out what normal is, but however, we're getting back to a regular schedule of things going on. So this week, the deck out the jar was the Gothic Literature Tarot, and it is by Syrian Shadow. Okay, so you may have this, you may not have this. It's pretty dark. Not going to lie, it's not exactly a May energy type deck, but we are respecting the messages and we are respecting the choice, the whatever comes out of the jar over here. This is what we are working with. Okay, so let's get stuck into it. So I hope you're well. Let me know in the comments what you have been up to, and we will see what energy is coming through for the 4th until the 10th of May. Okay, now I seem to remember that the last reading we did, which feels like a lifetime ago, it was quite heavy on swords. This week is more of the same, to be honest. However, at the bottom of the deck here, we have got the Page of Torches. Torches are wands in this deck, okay? And what it feels like to me is that this could may well be about Uranus moving into Gemini. You know, I am banging on about that. I'm probably not going to bang on as much about about Uranus anymore now that it's left Taurus. You know, and I'm, just kind of trying to breathe again and learning how to breathe in this new way of living. Okay, so, but what it feels like to me is there is a light within, or there is a light that you are destined to follow. And it can be that passion that's within you. You know, let's talk about wands for a minute. You know, wands are where creativity, it's for source of creativity. And when we get that call or when we get that nudge, sometimes it can be a gentle nudge. The vast majority of the time, it's a kick up the backside, you know, and a shove forward to do what it is we're supposed to be doing. And it feels very much with all the energy that's still in Aries, not quite as much as there was previously, but you know, there's still a lot of energy going on in Aries. And it feels to me like, let's build upon that momentum. You know, it's like the world is not hanging around anymore. There's the time for waiting and waiting is gone. It's a time for action. And the Page of Torches came in here asking you, you know, to say, right, you have got something that you're passionate about. Where do you need to learn? What messages do you need to come forward in order for you to do the thing? Okay, and I've noticed this way, like my one-to-one client readings. People are coming to me, and probably to other readers as well, asking about the purpose, asking, should I do something? Should I do X, Y, and Z? Should I create this? Should I start this? Should I do something? And the answer is yes. Okay, because I am a firm believer in trying something out so that you know whether it'll work or whether it won't, than sitting wasting time over time, months, and some people waste years procrastinating, wondering if they should do something. Let's remember, we are in the year of the fire horse. We're very much in that energy. So this is a charging forward. And even the image, it's like this character here, they're walking towards something that looks quite scary. Okay, with all that dark smoke and everything, right? But they have got their own light here. And that's the thing, I was actually saying it to a group of people last night, The thing is, if something feels scary, and if you're scared about something, you're scared about trying something, it's usually the right thing to do. Okay, success is often found on the other side of fear. And it's just getting through that initial trusting yourself, trusting the process, trusting that you can do the thing. Okay, so that's the page of torches, and it's asking us this week. Now, what have we got? Now, I mean, to be quite honest, it's alright. I mean, there's one kind of a dodgy one, but honestly, it's one of the better dodgy ones, to be honest with you. So we have got the 10 of ravens. Now, in this deck, ravens are swords, okay? So we've got the 10 of swords, essentially. We've got the 9 of chalices, which is the 9 of cups. Think about that, wishes coming true. And then we have got the ace of ravens, which is the ace of swords. Now we've got we've got a lot of contrast and energy coming up here. Like even for the page of torches. Here, this 10 of swords or 10 of ravens. We're coming to the end of a cycle. Okay, so it could be a cycle of overthinking. It could be a period where you've had to invest a lot of thought into a project and into a circumstance in your life, and that is now coming to a close. Okay, so for instance, let's look at this in a different light. So, as most of you probably know, last weekend was the Oracle's Rebellion. Okay, now for months and months and months previous to that, all I practically thought about was the Oracle's Rebellion, the planning it, the thinking this, the overthinking, the constant thinking and thoughts, okay? So that I can make it as amazing as possible. And I hope for people who attended, it was that. Now, so much thought and planning and overthinking went into that. Very much this 10 of swords, very much the suit of swords, agonising over things. And now it's finished. So it's came to the end of its cycle. Wasn't it a bad thing? It just came to the end of its cycle. So if you're in that position where you have, you're coming to the end of it, and it could be something that's been really challenging, but it could be something that's really challenging in the best possible way. This card is often seen as something that is really difficult and really, really horrible, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. Now, if you have been going through a time where it's been like mental anguish and, overthinking and running and thoughts running away with you, then there's good news as well. That period of time is coming to a close. And we've got the 9 of cups here, or the 9 of chalices, is our central energy here. That's like we're energy that is squaring, if you look at it from an astrological point of view. Okay, but it's that gentle emotional energy. We're side by side here with 2 thought cards. In the middle here we've got an emotion card, and it's a 9 of cups. Right, 9 of cups is a bit wishes coming true. You've been through the hard stuff. It's kind of like, right, do you know what? There's the hard stuff that's been in the 10 of ravens or the 10 of swords. Here's your reward for getting through it. That your hard work's paid off. It's time to celebrate. You know, it's like wishes coming true, but it's like wishes that you worked hard for. You know, they weren't just handed to you on a plate. You went out there, you did the hard work, you put in the hard thought, and now you're getting that wishes coming true card. So where does that go from there? Well, it goes back to the Ace of Ravens, because what you have built now needs a new layer upon it. You know, it's like then you start the cycle again. Well, where can I improve things? How can I do things better? How can I communicate better? Remember, swords about communication. It's about our thoughts, but it's about our communication. How have I learned, you know, in this process? How will I improve my messaging? How will I improve these things? You know, because there's always room for improvement. Okay, you know, it's like if you get to a stage in a project or like a stage in life or whatever, and you say, right, do you know what, I'm done, I know everything. No, you don't. There's always a level above what you can see. Okay, so this week, with it being the start of May, it's the start of a new month, you know, what can we look forward to? What can you grow? And what can you just take advantage of? You know, what's exciting you? You know, what are you starting to, what seeds did you plant maybe like, you know, kind of February time, and now it's like you're starting to see the wee small shoots growing. How can you nurture these things? Okay, my darlings, so that's the messages for the tarot. What we're going to do is we're going to pull a card from the Grief Journey Oracle. Again, thank you for the influx of orders for the deck. It's been wonderful, and it was very humbling at the Rebellion when people were asking me to sign their copy of the deck. It was truly lovely. It's a bit strange for me. I'm not used to these things. So let's see, what can we get a card for? Okay, so we have got departure. Okay, now I am reading this card in the context of the energy for the week, okay, and the reading that we have just had. And what I love is, I mean, some of you could literally be going on a train journey, okay, but what I love about this card is in the fact that it is departure. It can be seen in so many different ways. It can be seen as a physical departure where you are going on a journey, or it can be a departure from one stage of your life to another stage of your life. Very much following on for the tarot reading, it is saying to us, you know, in order to get to somewhere, in order to get to a destination, you need to leave a place, you know, and whether that's a physical place or whether that is a emotional place, whether that is a strategic place, you know, whether it's a place in your mind, you know, you no longer want to think about thoughts that are maybe debilitating to you. You know, you want to leave them behind. As I'm filming this, we're just coming off the energy of a full moon in Scorpio. Okay, and full moons obviously talk about letting things go and doing things differently, and just really showing up for ourselves. So whatever the journey is, go and enjoy it. Okay, take care, my darlings. So that is us. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I need to tell you? I am getting ready to go to a major exhibition in London. So it is, if you are in the London area, in the surrounding areas, this is a 4-day mind, body and spirit extravaganza. Okay, if you've ever been to like a psychic fair, you know, or a market, you know, that kind of thing, like a witchy market, that kind of thing. It is basically that on steroids. It's huge. It's held for over 4 days in the London Olympia, and it's huge. It's absolutely massive, and I'm going to be there with the Grief Journey Oracle, selling copies of it in person. And Terry, the artist, she is going to be there on the Saturday. It runs the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so it's a huge deal. And as I say, there's upwards of like between 14,500 and 15,000 visitors. So we should be quite busy. But as I say, if you're in the area, we'd love to come and like meet you in person. And it's an epic day out. There is like big publishers there. There is like Rockpool there. You can buy more tarot decks, oracle decks, and you can shake a stick at. You can buy crystals. I mean, any spiritual thing, there's people doing readings. There's people, I will not be doing readings, but there's people doing readings there. There's people doing healings. There's talks. There's workshops. It's truly incredible. So even if you fancy departing and going on a wee journey, spending a few days in London and visiting the Olympia, but check it out online. I will leave a link to it at the bottom in the description box if you want to check it out. It's quite something, and I am so excited that we have managed to get a vending space. So yeah, so if you're in the area, come and check us out. It runs from, let me see, it runs from the 22nd to the 25th of May. Okay, so you've got a couple of weeks to make your plans, book your train tickets. So yeah, so I'm excited about that. So that's where my main focus is going to be for the next few weeks. So my darlings, yeah, as I say, that's me. Okay, tune in next week. Your video reading will be available, and I will see you all soon. Okay, bye bye.